all my Roberts, welcome back to Other Robert. Yes, I did just steal Joe's introduction, but I'm in such a good mood right now that I just want to talk like how he talks. It's like I love that. That's his thing. That's his gimmick. So we are here to discuss Swan Song, the winter finale for Once Upon a Time season 5. I have many things to say about it. I believe Joe has some things to say about it too. And we are also going to be reading your reviews at the episode's end. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please comment as we talk and enjoy the review. And also say hello, Joe.
That was okay. That was good. You're on your way, right? So
Yes.
I would say 6 out of 10.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, good job. You're on your way, but it goes a little something like this.
Yes.
Boys, girls, all my chombaholics, all my fans of Christmas, all my lighted nights, and for everyone who's Jewish, happy first night of Hanukkah, and for everyone else, happy goings.
Thank you.
Robert, I am Joe, and yes, welcome to the Once Upon a Time mid-season finale review.
Yes, we are here to talk about Swan Song, the Captain Hook based episode, and it was intensive, interesting, and a lot of you cried apparently. I did not. So let's dissect this episode, guys, because I already did the trailer review for Souls of the Departed, which I hope you all will check out and watch because that looks like it's going to be an awesome thing. But this is going to be our last Once Upon a Time review until March. So, really get into the comments, please. So, this episode, we get a bit of Hook's past. We meet Hook's dad, and Hook has an interaction with the evil queen, which I guess makes sense in the present. And let's talk about his past kind of quick. What do you think about his dad?
Okay. I thought this would have been great had it been in a different episode.
Okay.
For this episode, for this being the mid-season finale and kind of how things ended last week, I think this was kind of just the wrong place to put this. I feel like this would have been better served an episode or two ago to kind of build up to that whole thing too. But I get it. It made sense for how it ended the episode, and it made sense to have them kind of parallel each other. So I understand it. However, I feel it would have been more effective had done an episode or two ago.
I could see that because maybe he was reflecting on that later, like in this episode, instead of having it be kind of shoehorned in. I can see that.
I think it just kind of took up time for a finale that I feel like we should have had more going on in the present with the Dark Ones, right? I mean, it ended last week with the Dark Ones taking over. And did they? I mean, did they really take over?
They sort of failed. And that was actually my only negative gripe with the episode. I was expecting this in my trailer review. I said this is going to be the Battle of the Dark Ones. And it was the Battle of Nothing.
It was the talk of the Dark Ones.
The Dark Ones. Yeah, the talk of the Dark Ones. That's a really good way to describe that because everyone just sort of gave into the fact that the darkness was taking over and they were going to die. Like
everyone gave up. It was so boring.
Yeah, that was the one part I didn't like. And this is like the show. Like Emma even said, like, you guys always have hope, yet none of them had hope.
Well, so. I think the reason why there was because Emma was the Dark One. So even though Emma still kind of had hope in her own way, they were led by this Dark One, Emma. So it wasn't really the same. And I think she is the reason why they always have so much hope. And the fact that she didn't really reflect that, I think it reflected on them. Regardless, it still seemed odd given who the characters are. To see that?
Yeah, to see them completely so melancholic. And
Regina was the one to say, we're giving up.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, I love that. She was great in this episode. It was always great. And I think anyone likes to see the evil queen, but granted, I like to see her too. I always enjoy her, but I don't really care for the flashback that we got with her. It just because I felt that it was kind of, again, shoehorned in. But Lana was great in her role. As always, Colin O'Donoghue was at the top of his game, but I would say the star here to me was Jennifer Morrison with her acting because she was just all over the place in a good way.
Absolutely, she kind of was given free range with this, and she took it where it should have gone. She definitely delivered more so than she ever did in the past.
Yes, she was this season was very much the the Emma season, or the beginning of it anyway. And we learned a lot about Emma here, and I liked it.
I think she needed it more than anyone, because if you look back at seasons 1 and 2, it was very often people called her a very wooden character.
Yes.
I remember seeing that a lot myself when I was looking online originally watching it. She was considered wooden for a long time, and I think this kind of just proved everyone wrong who felt that way. That she showed that, you know, this is she can act, right? I mean, she showed
she has a range of emotions. She quite a range of emotions.
She really showed what she can do, and I think she impressed a lot of people. She impressed me, even though I never really doubted her. She impressed me. Very, very good. Very effective.
Yes, she impressed me quite a bit too. Well, obviously we aren't actors, but like just how she's able to like go from like trying to be serious and then she's, you know, crying. I'm like, you're great. Like this is why I love the show. Even if the visuals aren't that great and sometimes I don't care for the story, I always enjoy the acting. So the acting always makes me like it.
You know what it is? I think the story went in a different way than I personally would have liked. Like you said, the battle was kind of, I think, what we were expecting, and we didn't get that. So even though the story kind of went in a different place, I was kind of okay with that in the end, because it still was okay with what they gave us. I mean, it was still good in its own right. I mean, everyone delivered such strong performances.
Yes, they did.
So can't really complain too much. You know what I mean? Not that I want to complain, but I'm saying I would prefer the battle. Definitely, with how it seemed like it was going to go. But
yeah, I was expecting magic battles going after dark ones. That didn't happen. But the flashback to focus back on the episode,
right,
was Hook's dad abandoned him. Does every character get abandoned on the show, or every character not have a tragic past, or lose a parent to some level? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy.
I guess it kind of adds sympathy to
Yeah.
him, but did we really need sympathy for Hook?
No, I didn't need sympathy for Hook because I always knew he was a good guy. So I like, had he made the decision he makes at the end of the episode without this flashback, I would have believed it nonetheless.
Exactly. I think that's just what a lot of people are going to say. Oh, well, we needed this. We needed to see this to see why it would make sense. No, we didn't. We could have gone that a completely different way.
Yes, exactly. So the flashback is Hook gets abandoned as a kid. Then Regina, as the evil queen, before she sends him to Wonderland in season 2, says, I need you to have a test with your father, pretty much, without telling him that it's his dad. And he goes, meets his dad, who both are shocked that they're both alive because, you know, the 100-year gap with Hook being in Neverland and his dad. So one complaint I do have about the flashback is apparently his dad fell under a sleeping curse, and that kept him alive for 100 years. It's like,
and
really?
Always the same age. Everyone always in the show is always the same age.
Yes. Yeah. It's just like, okay, well, fine. You shoehorned it in. I get the point of the flashback. And then Hook kills his dad because he's so angry at what his father had done.
You know, to me, I don't know if you call it this, the best part I thought about the flashbacks, and it's just more of a cool factor that was really cool, was when was the last time that we heard Hook actually called Captain Hook? Captain Hook, the two words together. When was the last time?
In the end of 4?
4, really? Captain Hook? We heard that?
No, 3 with Smee when they were back in time.
Okay, so Smee, right? So we rarely ever hear Captain Hook said. He's either Hook or he's Killian. Captain Hook, when we think of that, we think of a different character. We think of who he was originally. And really to hear him say it's Captain Hook now, really that places you thinking of the character who, even though it's the same character, is still completely different at the same time. And just from referencing his full kind of moniker, his full title, I think it was effective in showing kind of a power situation and a menacing kind of presentation of his character, because we don't hear that anymore. So when it's said, it has more of a punch.
Yes, that made sense to me, and that was a really great point to bring up, just in terms of, I guess it's a nod to the writers right there, because that's writing choices.
Yeah, it's like we say sometimes less is more, and in the sense of calling him actually Captain Hook, like I said, he's not really Captain Hook anymore. He's Hook or he's Killian. But because of that, when Captain Hook is said, I think it packs way more of a punch because we don't hear it, and because it is
Right.
someone else.
Yes, yeah, that's interesting. I like that. Okay, so we cover the flashback. Flashback. Hook has dad issues, and Hook kills his dad. Oh, how many people on the show killed their parents too?
Think
So
he'll be in the underworld too?
I bet his dad might be in the underworld. That's a great chance to bring him back, and we'll talk about the underworld at the very, very end of this.
Yeah.
So, present day storybook. The Dark Ones are here, and they mark everyone on their I think the back of their arm actually.
Right.
Uh,
Tattoos. That's the evil plan of these bad guys. Tattoos.
yeah, they mark them, and then when the moon reaches its zenith, they will be dragged. Their souls. It's like a soul swap. The people who are alive go to the
Friday,
world.
but in one spot.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier how people, were just talking about giving up. And that was that was what was going on throughout most of the episode with Emma in the background trying to solve the problem. But because I do want to mention it, Zelina is banished back to Oz thanks to Regina. So they got rid of her. So just
For now.
For now, Rebecca Mader's a main character on the show at the moment, so to banish her makes no sense. So she's going to come back in some way. But she did want to go back to Oz in the season 5 premiere, with her child. So she's a little lonely. So now she's back in Oz, and
that might completely nix what we were saying last week about her turning good or turning anti-hero.
Yeah,
that's just completely nope.
There's no anti-hero here anymore. She's just going to be pissed.
Yeah. I don't see it coming anymore.
Yeah, honestly, me too. And I just had wanted to at least point that out. So that was sort of like what was going on with Regina and Robin Hood. And then the climax, to kind of wrap up the review, is Emma realizes at first she said to Regina, like, I'll take all the darkness back in, and I'll kill myself with it. Which I kind of liked. I like that. I am assuming you know this, but swan song, like a swan doesn't sing for its whole life, and then when it does, it dies.
Right.
And so I was kind of thinking, like that's a good way to, she wanted it. Like she's being very self-sacrificing here. Yeah. Because she's a hero. But it doesn't go down that way because when everyone's family or her family is about to be dragged into the underworld, he changes his mind.
What an excellent way to put it. He literally he changed his mind. He said, never mind, LOL.
Pretty much. I mean, the reason why is because Regina knows what happened in his flashback with him killing his father. And she pretty much said, don't destroy another family, because Hook, when he killed his dad, Hook had a little brother that he didn't know about, which left him to be an orphan. So it was like, so she said to him, don't ruin another family. Guess he thought about it, and he changed his mind. So now he absorbed all the Dark Ones into Excalibur, and
then he became immortal.
Emma slayed him with the sword.
Yeah, and it was, again, a really cool ending.
Yeah. We have a very interesting ending too.
Yeah. Have we seen the end? I think all of us can say in unison, no. We probably have not seen the end of Hook, but
no, he's doing that.
But if this was the end of Hook, that's a really cool ending for a character.
It would have been if the show didn't do something I didn't like at the last 5 seconds.
Yeah,
it would have been. It would have been a beautiful ending for him, and honestly, it was up until the last 3 minutes of the show.
Well, I think for Hook as a character, again, I think all of us know he's coming back, but let's just pretend he's not, right?
Yeah.
If this was his death, it was still an excellent way to do it.
Yeah. What
followed that sucked in its own right, but I don't think it affected the Hook death. I think that was a great death.
No, his sacrifice was still very noble and did what
right and memorable. I think it goes for me. It was the second most memorable, next to when Rumpelstiltskin originally with Pan. with
Yes,
with that ending.
was so
That's most
good.
memorable. What?
Yeah. So, um, when Emma slayed him, it expelled the darkness from her body, turning her back into the savior again. And he died. He was taken away. And Jennifer Morrison, we didn't hear her cry. They just played like that some sad music over it. And she looked she looked horrible because she was grieving. So she was like, just even without her even saying anything, like her facial expressions were quite spectacular.
Yeah, it was powerful.
There. Yeah, very, very, very powerful. And then Emma is at her house and she hears the Dark One's dagger calling her back. I guess there must have been like a residue effect. And it turns out Mr. Gold fixed Excalibur to absorb the darkness back into him again so that way he could become the Dark One.
Not only just the Dark One,
So,
but now more powerful than ever.
yeah,
He's
most
all
powerful Dark One. He has all of them in him. I'm just so frustrated by that because one of my wish lists for season 5 was to have him be good again. And when he was turned into a hero and bearing the bow, I thought, yes, they listened to me. Like they took my advice. They didn't take my advice. They should take my advice. So now he's the Dark One. But one thing I did want to at least note, because I didn't think Emma would have her magic because I thought it would get all sucked away. She has her magic back too, so she's still the savior. And now he's the most powerful Dark One ever.
To wrap up season 5A, never mind. I mean, everything. Never mind. Emma being the Dark One. Never mind. Hook being the Dark One. Never mind. And Rumple being good and not being the Dark One. Never mind.
And also
Belle leaving him. Belle leaving him. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Because like that happens before. And let's also talk about another negative thing that happened in the episode. Where's Merida? Where's Arthur? Where's Guinevere? Where's Lancelot?
Never mind.
Camelot.
Never mind.
Never mind. We're going to the underworld, so we're not going to worry about them. The fact that Lancelot's nowhere to be found. Arthur's in a jail cell. Merida is probably at Regina's house chilling out.
Lancelot, what happened with that?
He's alive, supposedly. We just don't know where he is. And also, there's still a curse on the town because they were brought back by Hook's curse, so they have to somehow break that too. It's just...
They'll probably just say, oh, the curse was just to bring them back or something like that to completely just like...
cast the fourth one.
Sweep that. They're just sweeping everything under one big rug right now.
Yeah. or under one big
rug. Guys. It's all going to be cool. Don't worry.
Yeah. Because, well, the Camelot character, Brave is done. Brave was for 5B, or 5A, and Camelot was for 5A too. So they're not coming back. We're getting Greek mythology very soon, or a couple months.
Which, oh my God, I still have to say, it's so cool. It's so ominous and eerie. I mean, we saw Karen again on the ferry.
Yes.
It's so ominous. I love it. It's so interesting and unique. And I'm really looking forward to this arc more than any arc previously for Once Upon a Time, just because it's so interesting.
I am too. Greek Hercules was one of my favorite Disney movies. I like Greek myths, at least what I know about them. Besides the Frozen arc, which I was so excited for, this is one I'm really, really looking forward to as well. I liked this arc, but I guess my review of the arc overall would be it had so much to do, or they tried to do so much that they forgot things that fans are like, we know this exists, so recon it a bit. So we're the Camelot characters. What are they doing? Who cares?
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Was Emma ever truly evil?
Never
No.
mind.
Is Hook dead?
Never mind.
The answer to that is yes.
For now.
For now, yes, it's coming back to life. Most likely. Are we getting...
They'll see Neil down there. They'll see all these people. And
yeah, I mean...
Sorry, you guys can't come back. Just Hook.
It really depends on how they're going to do the underworld, because if they do the underworld with... they could do it with people who were villainous that have gone there, or they could do it like the underworld where everyone goes.
Right. I think it'll just be... They keep referencing it as hell. So I think it is going to be just a villainous.
Yeah, which for villains, it makes me quite wonder if our favorite Snow Queen will be there.
Or she kind of redeemed herself in the end.
She did redeem herself, but she also cast a very bad spell.
She said, "Never mind it."
Yeah. Who knows? So, if any, that's a big question for guys out there. If you
Hercules
return,
too.
Hook redeemed himself too. So why would
how does he fit into this? That's why I'm thinking it might not just be villains.
Yeah, well, Regina's dad is there. That's the only That's the only thing I noticed, that with her dad being there, there could be good characters, because her dad was never
really interesting.
Say again?
Could be a really interesting arc.
Yeah, I mean, if you can literally throw up everyone that died, so please bring back Elizabeth Mitchell so we can see her again. I want to see Elizabeth Mitchell. I really do. Like that's what I want. Plus, I think her seeing Emma in the Underworld would be pretty cool. So that is what's happening. We're going to the Underworld. We did a really long discussion of this episode, but I feel that Swan Song definitely deserved a long discussion.
Yeah,
but we're not done. It's time to talk to you guys out there to the 13 of you who are watching. Thank you so much. If you guys want to comment, please feel free to write your reviews in the comments below. But we have some reviews from other fans to read out their reactions to the episodes. Joe, I think we've got one or two more comments on the page that you're looking at, so just give it a refresh.
Sure.
And I'll take care of some too. You good?
Yeah.
All right. You go first. You read those, and I'll read the ones I got over here.
All right. So we have Alyssa Perez saying, "How did you react to Hook's death? I cried a lot."
And I didn't cry to Hook's death, Alyssa, but I knew it was coming. I've known this for months, and I love the way it happened. It did get me, but it didn't cry.
Yeah, I don't think Once Upon a Time could ever kind of invoke an emotion like that for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I've never been that upset from it.
Yeah, I feel like there's just kind of.
But I get why. I get why a lot of you would get.
Yeah, I definitely I get why Hook and I keep wanting to say Jennifer Morrison, Emma. Hook and Emma, their relationship has become something that people, including myself, we want to see it, right?
Yeah, we love it. Yeah.
We're invested. So I definitely get it. And Hook is just a fun character, a really fun character.
Colin O'Donoghue is amazing. So
yeah, absolutely, and especially that range he showed with being with the Dark One, doing the whole Deary gimmick. Great, it was wonderful.
I love it.
But yeah, again, going with Rob, we kind of saw this coming.
Yes. So
it didn't really surprise me.
Yeah. Well, who else is next? Who else do you got?
So I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher this name. Rihanna Marek said this episode gave me the chills. Sorry, the feels, not the chills. The feels. I literally cried 6 times throughout this episode. And yeah, what was your reaction to Hook Sacrifice episode?
We talked about
Hook. Yeah, 6 times during the episode. That's like before every commercial break.
Yeah, that's literally every 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's But yeah, it was a very intense episode in terms of dialogue, I would say. We were expecting it to be intense in a different way, but yeah, it was still intense, definitely.
Yes,
so definitely get it. Yeah. Okay, and then we have Sydney Sorbet.
I was gonna say sherbet, but yeah, sorbet sounds much better.
Okay, Sydney Sorbet and/or sherbet. I'm sure you will get the rant from me over Swan Song later, but this trailer is truly why I'm not as disgusted. Oh wait, hold on, that's the trailer. I'm ready for 5B. Yeah, I'm really ready for 5B, but I think the 3-month wait will be good for me mentally after tonight. I wish Zelina was there to interact with Cora in the next arc. Which, do you think she will be?
She's gonna be back. I mean, she's a main character.
I
But
don't think she'll be going to Underworld though.
no, she won't. What's going to happen is she's going to find someone back to Storybrooke, and while they're in while they're in the Storybrooke of the Underworld, she's gonna be at the top causing issues.
Yeah,
That's her.
in
Was there one more on that page?
in terms of reviews, that's pretty much it.
Alrighty, cool. So thank you all who contributed over there. And then I have a few from Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Oh wait, I found Sydney Sorbets. It was under that.
Oh yeah, read it. Just give Sydney a second shout out.
Okay, Sydney. Sorry, that was I read the original one for the trailer. But okay, so regarding the mid-season finale, incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better mid-season finale. The humor was there. I cried a lot. I felt the acting was impeccable, and I did enjoy the backstory that we got on Killian. We got to see that he takes after his father, and I have a feeling that little Liam is going to be back eventually.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sydney. Sorry that we messed up the first part of it, but thank you so much for contributing to it. Then on Instagram, Deadly King, he wrote, I saw the trailer for this episode, and I'm just really sad that Selena won't get to meet Cora in season 5B. I think that's a complaint a lot of people have from the way that they got rid of Zelina.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll agree with that. Then on Twitter, we have a review from where'd it go? We were very organized with this when we started. I swear. From BG Sophia wrote, this episode had a lot of emotional moments, but I hated the ending. I'm pissed that Rumple is the Dark One again. So pissed. Oh, and I'm not particularly thrilled that we guessed the ending about a month ago. That's a major letdown. Yeah, a lot of us knew that Hook and the Underworld were coming. So yeah, I feel like this episode invoked quite a mixture of emotions for this. And then over on Facebook, Kathy Richardson wrote, "Grab lots of tissues." And then I think I had one or two more. Kimberly Perez wrote, I felt like I was going to die when Hook was killed. I'm so incredibly upset when I found out that Rumple was the Dark One again, especially now that he has the power of all the Dark Ones in him. That was a surprise I did not see coming and did not want. Poor Belle. Before that, I was actually happy for him. Honestly, I was too. Now I can't go back to despising him. Me too. I like the whole Storybrooke being the hell thing just turned upside down, basically. And I was very glad to see Zelina go. And to have Regina and Robin take care of her baby over the Rainbow Witch. So thank you, Kimberly, for your quick review. And thank you for all of you who contributed to the reviews and to this episode. We'll be doing this for 5B when it starts back up in March. I don't even know how long this video has gone on for, but I feel like it might be the entire length of the episode. So that might be quite special right there. But Robin Joe are done talking about Swan Song. It was powerful. It was all over the place and evoked emotions. It was good. Adam and Ed did a good job. And 5B, we're getting Cruella, we're getting Cora, we're getting Peter Pan, we're getting more characters. The Underworld is coming. Hades and Meg and Hercules are coming. And we'll cover 5B just like we did all of 5A. So I hope you all will, stay tuned for those reviews in March. And if you have any questions or comments, shoot them to us and we'll take care of it. So thank you all so much for tuning into this review. Thank you, Joe, for reading those comments. I appreciate that too. Saved me some breath. And we will talk to you guys all later. Bye, everyone.